Hello, welcome back. This is your host Proton Stars here to talk to you about the Council of State, and this is the Senate. This is the new building that they created in the last update. So I wanted to go in more in depth on the Council of State itself. So here you have the option to upgrade the building as high as you can, and it has requirements of each level. In this case, at level 24, it requires the victory column to be upgraded to level 7. Looks like you just need some resources and a whole bunch of other requirements. If you've got those already, these are the requirements here. And then we're just going to go back to the Council of the State itself. This is called the Senate. It has 3 titles called Governor, Commander, and Marshal. Each one appears when you've upgraded the Council of State building to its prerequisite level. I wanted to start from the backwards to the forwards so that we can understand what path to make it the most efficient when you're doing your upgrades. So we'll start at the promotion button at the bottom of each title, and we'll do each one so you know what they are. So in Governor, the promotion, it says it's mostly going to be offensive buffs, so they're the attacking buffs, and it has also the attacking debuffs that are applied when you do the promotion for the title upgrade for Governor. And Commander is for in-city, so this is mostly defensive buffs, and it also has offensive mixed in there as well, but primarily defensive. And then for the Marshal, when you promote, it's mostly going to be for rally. It looks like rally buffs, debuffs, and yeah, that's what it looks like. So basically rallies for that promotional level there. So starting from the beginning, when you do promotion, it has grade requirements at the bottom. So you can tell if you want to upgrade to get the first let's see here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, so 7 grades of buffs. To get the first one, it requires 5 of the ground level ones and 5 of the mounted level ones. You can see that it's not required for the other one, so it's highlighted green, meaning you're good to go on those ones. So if you wanted to do the first title upgrade, you're going to need to what is known as upgrade position level. So each of these 4 types has a position level, and you can upgrade each of them to their respective levels. So if you upgrade this, it requires these little merit jade items that you can achieve from battlefields, and it's necessary to do these upgrades. So once you get this to level 5, and then you also get this mounted one to level 5, it increases its current buff here, which is the marching mounted troop defense, and then once you reach level 5, it adds this other buff as well. So this one will be increased to a certain level once it gets here. I'll show you an example. Like I did the siege one, which is kind of a waste now. The primary one gets increased to 10% at level 5, and then these extra attributes become active, and it doesn't appear though these buffs get increased at each level. I'll have to do that when I do the upgrade, and I'll find out. But the primary attribute that's at the top there is the one that gets increased every level it goes up. I believe these extra attributes just get added as you get to those levels. So basically, when you assign a title for each role, depending on the level of your general in stars, only stars, it doesn't your general itself doesn't require to be any higher than level 22. So I would recommend picking tavern generals, because they're just going to sit in the Council of State and not be usable anywhere else outside of the Council of State. So you can't use it in a March preset, you can't use them as duty officers, subsidy officers, or anything if they're inside the Council of State. So basically you'll have a general that's just sitting there as a council member. So I would recommend tavern generals, because you can get many copies of them, and you can upgrade them to 10th red star at any time to get the additional buffs that you would get down below. So you can see that one of my generals, Lysander, is already a 9-star or a 4th red star. And you can see that it gives up to in-city troop HP plus 6% and all the ones just above it as well. Same thing goes for each of these. So you want to upgrade to the ones that you actually want to achieve first. And same thing with the commander. You would pick a general that you typically aren't going to be using and you've got many copies of them. And that's the one you want to be sticking in the Council of State, because it's just going to sit there and not be used for anything. You can find each type of general inside the tavern. It may take you a few spins here and there, but Roland is one of them for the mounted. There's quite a few mounted generals in here, so you can pick them here. Edward the Prince is a good range one for the Council of State. Barb is another mounted one for the Council of State. And let's see here. You can get there's a few others in here anyways, and Sherman you can use for siege. I believe Ulysses you can use for siege as well. And in Japan, Minamoto you can use for range. Oda you can use for ground. These ones you can find in the tavern and they're cheap to get. And Jumon can be used for ranged. What's the Huo Cubing, I believe, is also for mounted, so you can get him in the tavern as well. He's a cheap one to get for tavern. Peter the Great can be used for ground. So you have your choices, and once you've gotten all your tavern generals in there, you can use them to appoint them to each of these positions. So you can see that Oda is one of them. I have a lot of copies of Mighty, but he's not a tavern general, so I just stick him in there. Peter the Great is another option right there. For mounted, you have all these options. They have to be able to be selected from the military tab when you select your generals, so they can't be like development officers, duty officers, or anything, and wall generals either. So these are your choices for mounted, and then your range, you have a bunch of choices as well. I use this Edward the Prince because it's free, so I mean free to play, achievable, and you can get Sherman for siege. That works for that. And yeah, basically to get the most out of this, you would want to ascend your generals to their highest positions. I would recommend, I mean, if you can get to the 4th red star for the HP ones, I would do those for just pure defense. So basically the ground one, the mounted one, and yeah, pretty much ground and mounted. If you have limited resources of Blood of Ares, you're gonna have to pick and choose which one you want to prioritize over. So depending on the type of defense you have, you want to choose the one that is most effective for you. If you do have further questions in regards to this, do comment or find me on Discord and we can chat about this specifically. I'm on server 523. I can provide our server Discord link in the comments in the description below, and you can join our server anytime and find me there and ask any questions. See you later.